Hello everyone and welcome once again to the Deiser Connection. How you doing? I hope you're doing great. Today we have a special episode because as we mentioned in our latest episode, this year we're gonna have some changes, and we're gonna try to evolve the Deiser Connection. So today, as I said, it's a special episode. Today we have a guest, and that guest is no other than Decadis, an Atlassian Platinum Marketplace partner, and they have been developing apps for several years now. They are based in Koblenz, Germany, and they have offices in Seville, right here in Spain, right in the south of Spain. We wanted to talk about their apps, and their futures, just sharing the knowledge, sharing what you can achieve with different apps in the marketplace. If you go into the Atlassian Marketplace, you'll see that they're a Platinum partner, as I said, and they have 9 different apps. 9 apps, that's a lot, that's crazy. It's really cool because they're useful for different kinds of cases, The main one right now is Jira Workflows Toolbox, which is a really good automating tool. It's really useful. And I remember that I used to be the support representative for the Deiser apps, and every now and then, well, not every now and then, but every single day we needed to check into the logs of Jira, in order to provide support to our customers. So they have this app, Decadis develops this app that is called LastLock for Jira. They also have it for Confluence, but I used to use the LastLock for Jira a lot during my day-to-day work because it's a really useful tool in order to fetch information in your Jira logs without the need to download any files, or any other things. You just go into your Jira instance, and you check the logs in your Jira instance, and you find errors, and you find out what Jira is doing in the background, in the backend, and it's super useful. And recently they upgraded it into LastLock for Jira 2.0, which is really cool. They managed to change it a little bit, in order to have a little bit more information, and they added new features. So if you want to try it out, go ahead and try it out because it's really useful. I'm really happy that this week they accepted the invitation to join the Deiser Connection, and we had Nikolas Witt in order to tell us about a little bit more of the Decadis tools, and Jira Workflows Toolbox, and the future for their apps. So this is what went down, during this kind of chat that we had with Nicholas, this kind of interview. So go ahead and check it out. So we're here with Nicholas Vit from Decadis. This is Decadis is a really powerful marketplace vendor, and they have a really cool tool that is JWT. We call it JWT, but the full name is Jira Workflows Toolbox. And Nicholas right here is gonna talk about a little bit about JWT. We're gonna have a little chat. So how is it going, Nicholas?
I'm good, thank you.
Oh,
thank you for inviting me today.
Don't worry, it's a pleasure. It's always a pleasure. So, Decadis, how long have you been working for Decadis for?
Yeah, so for now, I've been working with Decadis for almost or over 3 years now. And I've started as a working student and now as a full-time employee, consultant for responsible for customers as well as into our apps that we have on the marketplace. And yeah, today's focus is Jira Workflow Toolbox. Yeah. And I'm happy about talking about that topic.
Nice, perfect. Because it's a really, it's a popular app, and you can do many things. You can automate different actions in Jira, you can do several things, In fact, I don't know if you know, but we have a use case with Project Track, in which you can simplify workflows in Jira thanks to Project Track and JWT, with just a little bit of configuration. But that's okay. So, how do you see, how did you start it? How did you start it with Jira? How did Decadis started with Jira Workflows Toolbox?
Yeah, the beginning of it was with somebody from Spain,
Nice.
Fidel, who worked at this workflow toolbox. Mm-hmm. And then we merged together and continued developing this app.
So how long have you been working on Jira Workflows Toolbox?
Yeah, so that whole process started in about 2010. And yeah, we are like developing that further and further from server to data center to cloud now. This is like kind of our focus on bringing new functionalities to the apps as well as migrating it from the on-premise to the cloud. And yeah,
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. And one thing that you would say that is the most used feature for Jira Workflows Toolbox, which one would you say it is?
there's definitely one, which is the update field post function. And like it's kind of the most powerful thing because you can edit anything with like no time. The configuration is really easy by having access to all of the fields. You can use the expressions that we provide from all of our handbooks, and that's like I think the
No, the most
best
used feature.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
definitely.
That's pretty cool. So, what does the future look like for Jira Workflows Toolbox?
Yeah, so the future, as I already teasered, we are trying to get the automated migration path better involved in like the in both the apps, like on-prem and data center and cloud. So this is one side, and the other side we want to like provide or develop more post functions to get more features into the app, as well as some further expressions to have like on the one hand manipulation and on the other hand like more possibilities to do things inside of Jira with easy configuration.
Cool. Would you like to show a little bit more of Jira Workflows Toolbox?
Yeah, sure.
Cool. Let's share your presentation. There you go.
All right. Here, Jira Workflow Toolbox. It's like how to automate your instance, this time with a use case edition, because like we started this whole thing a while ago from preparing and giving webinars for not only Jira Workflow Toolbox, also other apps, but our today's focus is JWT. So it's one of the best rated marketplace apps for automation. And it's not all about workflows, but we have also primarily on the on-prem version automation rules as well as calculated fields. On cloud, you can have these as separate apps. The workflow extensions and the powerful expressions that we provide are nearly endless to like manipulate or whatever you like want to achieve with this. And on the other hand, additional features like calendar, JWT, JQL functions that we provide, and many more things.
Perfect. Nice. That's really cool. It's really good to know what we should expect from Jira Workflows Toolbox. It's really nice. So just a few more questions. So I believe that you're based in Germany and Decadis is based in Germany, right? So
Correct.
since this ecosystem it's so multicultural, and there's a lot of vendors that come from different parts of the world, and the clients of our apps come from different parts of the world. What would you say that is the country that uses the Jira Workflows tools the most?
Oh, that's a tough question.
It is.
I
I'm
don't-
sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I don't have insights to all of these.
Yeah.
But to like specifically picking a country in the world is hard because like it's spread worldwide.
It's spread
and
worldwide. Yeah.
I don't want to say everybody, but
Yeah.
maybe in the future everybody is using JWT.
That should be the wish, right? That should be
Yes.
the goal, But yeah, because it's really crazy when we start thinking about it, because we're also app developers and we see that project track is being used all over around the world. But mostly we get German clients, that need organizations with their projects, and United States clients, so it's those are the main ones. Then we have a huge range of different countries, of different clients from different countries, but it's something that it's always I'm asking this around, with different apps, because it's something that is not really important, but it's something that we would like to know, what kind of tools are being used in different countries. But it's really interesting. It's really interesting, and let's hope that everyone uses our apps. Everyone in the world uses our apps. So and I know that this is gonna be also a little bit of a tricky question, but what do you think that what industry is the most that you've seen that uses Jira Workflows Toolbox? For example, again, I'm coming back to Project Track. Project Track is really used by financial industry, like banks and maybe insurance companies, in order to have everything, all the information right there on screen. So what do you think that is the industry that uses Jira Workflows Toolbox the most?
I would guess it's probably the IT sector, because you have most of the things in the IT sector that you can automate. Of course, not only, but like the rate is there the highest, from like tasks, the repetitive tasks that you want to streamline, that you want to change or adjust the control flow. And of course, banks like the financial sectors, as well as other producers or vendors in either branch for developing software and to developing any products.
Nice. Well, that's pretty cool. It makes sense because Jira Workflows Toolbox is a toolbox that allows you to automate different processes, and in the development sector, automating it's really necessary, right? It's really, it's a need, at this point. So that's pretty cool. So Nicholas, talking about JWT, what use cases do you have? What are the most important use cases that you're showcasing right now with JWT?
Yeah, of course. So as I recently said, the most useful or the most often used post function is to update fields. And therefore I brought a use case today where a customer requested for on the create transition, he wants to copy certain fields from an epic that is associated with this issue. And so inherit fields from epic. Instead of going through the steps here, I will show this in our instance. So we have an OKR planning board here. And as an objective, there is a epic created on the board. So I will create another issue underneath this epic. So let me call it key result 5. And I will select the parent as the epic and provide a story description like that and create this issue. So if we check this new issue, our post function will be update the fields and inherit the epic description from its parent. So it says get all tasks done by the end of Q3. We have the assignee inherited from the epic, and as well as the demos label from the parent. So let's check. This is also set here. We have the demos label, the assignee, and the normal description field, which is then entered into the epic description in our task underneath it. To the configuration, I've opened the post function here in this create transition, and let's have a look in detail of this this configuration. And here we have a target current issue and set these 3 fields, the assignee, the label, and the epic description, and easily inherit by going through or from this drop-down menu description. We can search and then open this up and simply click parent.description, that field, to use this expression to inherit the fields from the parent. This is how you set up, for example, an update field post function from Jira Workflow Toolbox, and simply update, or you could also add a conditional execution in case you want to limit the execution to some conditions, and set this post function. That's it. Yeah. We are uploading these webinars. So this is a use case from our first webinar to YouTube, for example. And if you need any further information about that, check our, what's it called?
The listing, the marketplace listing.
Yeah, either marketplace listing or our apps documentation. As well as if you have any issues with JWT or any other app, reach out to us on our service desk. We are happy to help you.
Cool. Thank you very much.
Future webinars.
And okay, so you've been talking about the future about from Jira Workflows Toolbox. So what are you going to do about it? Do you have any presentations? Are you gonna talk about it in any kind of event? In this near future?
Yeah, of course. Like on the events we are present, we always have JWT in our suitcase to present new features or anything that comes up with the ITSM topic, because this is recently coming into focus everywhere. A really crucial topic. For now, I think focusing on the new functionalities inside of the app that we want to ship, and also promoting this app and all of our apps in a new format that we started in August last year. It's called the Use Case Webinar. And I also brought some insights in that. So our roadmap so far was starting from JWT, some workflow functions, to smart fields for Jira, that you have the possibilities to have automated calculated fields in Jira Cloud, as well as our other app, Admin Toolbox, and SumUp. Then we came back to JWT on-prem features, which is like the recent one for January, and like some like Outlooks is probably in the future LastLock, which is a easy LastLock or log insights app for Jira and Confluence.
That is pretty cool, because LastLock, I'm a really big fan of LastLock. I before doing the Deiser Connection, and before being the partner manager for the Deiser apps, I was the support specialist for our apps, and we always need to look into the logs, into the log files. Yeah. And the Jira LastLock was one of the best tools that I've ever used, because it was really easy, just in the instance, you didn't have to download anything, any kind of file. And now I've seen that a few months ago, you updated LastLock.
Correct. We released version 2.0.
Yes.
So yeah, that was a pretty big step, and we are kind of proud of it to provide that now, because like it helps filtering and like structuring the logs a lot easier than before. You have a lot more like kind of also a toolbox for the log control, and having that insights from Jira directly instead of going into the server connection and like typing or like walking over the console is that much easier. And also for like debugging anything that comes with other apps. Yeah. That's like a pretty big benefit.
Exactly. It's really good. It's really useful. And I've used it a lot, and I was really glad to see the new version 2.0, and all the new features, and the improvements that you've managed to develop in LastLock. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I'm really glad about that.
Cool to hear.
Yeah. Don't worry about it. It's really nice, and I really recommend it. If you need to dive into your apps logs, or whatever happened in your Jira, the LastLock is a really useful tool in order to find out what happened in there. It's really good. It's really good. So so I think that we're done with this, but I just want to thank you for your time, and I'm wishing to have you, you and your colleagues, Decadis in general, in some other episode of the Deiser Connection. And I don't know, are you going to be attending any kind of event, like in-person event in the future for the Atlassian ecosystem?
Unfortunately, this year is not planned for me, but my colleagues will. Like on Teams 24, my colleagues are present, as well as, what is the next one?
Meta-Inf in Hungary.
Oh yeah, Meta-Inf.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
Is it Budapest?
Is Budapest, yes.
Yeah, exactly. And then what's the next? I'm not tracking the events at the moment.
Well, don't worry. It should be somewhere around the other half of the year, you know.
The Divinity Day, I think.
The Divinity Day, yeah, is gonna, yeah, exactly. It's gonna. Those are yearly events, so we'll see each other in those events. And I'm sorry that we don't see each other, but if I happen to visit the Decadis offices, you know, I'll manage to go and say hi. Do not worry about it. So cool. So Nicholas, thank you very much for your time, and have a great year with JWT and your other apps.
Yeah, thank you, Fide.
No, don't worry. Pleasure. So that was pretty much it for today's episode. Thank you very much, Decadis. Thank you very much for your time, Nicholas. Thank you very much, Torsten, Dave, and Mikel. They were really helpful with this episode. And do not hesitate to go into the marketplace and check out those tools, those apps that we just talked about. And do not hesitate to ask us any questions. You will have all the information in the video description just below this video. So thank you very much for watching, and see you next week. Bye-bye.